Chapter 81, Falling from the Altar. You are listening at NovelsThe.audio. Do you want to live? Then I will spare your life, Yi Bufan said as he raised his foot and stepped lightly on the ground. Xuanji Lao Dao's body jumped up, and then two silver needles instantly pierced his Shenzong point and Dantian point. Ah! Xuanji Taoist instantly let out a heartbreaking scream. Although Yi Bufan did not kill him, these two silver needles destroyed his Taoism and martial arts. From now on, he will no longer be a Xuanji master, but just an ordinary old man. To have his life's hard work revoked was simply worse than death for him. Yi Bufan, I'll kill you, the old Taoist Xuanji shouted and wanted to rush over and fight Yi Bufan, but unfortunately his cultivation was ruined. He no longer had any fighting ability at all. His body was extremely uncomfortable for a while, and he fell to the ground with a plop before taking 2 steps. Qin Chu looked at everything in front of him and couldn't believe it was true. He never imagined that Master Xuanji, whom he admired so much in the past, would be so vulnerable in front of Yi Bufan. At this time, everyone around them slowly came to their senses, and the bodyguard captain whispered to Luo Wentao, "Young master, should we help the master?" Luo Wentao said coldly, "Even Master Xuanji was beaten like a dog. Are you sure you can beat that kid? He has always been a scheming person." Although Master Xuanji's incident greatly stimulated him, he quickly recovered from the shock and rationally analyzed everything in front of him. Well, only then did the bodyguard captain realize what kind of person he was across from him. The old Taoist Xuanji was usually aloof and had great cultivation, but he was trampled under his feet. There was no way he could deal with such a person. He said again, "Master, how about we call the police?" "Call the police? Do you think the police can come to our place?" Luo Wentao glared at the bodyguard captain. Generally speaking, people at their level rarely solve problems through the official system. Besides, he had too many shady activities in the Paradise Club, and calling the police here was like throwing himself into a trap. The bodyguard captain also realized that he had said the wrong thing and said sarcastically, "Young master, what should we do?" Luo Wentao said, "What we have to do is to do nothing, just watch and it's over." Yi Bufan glanced at the ashen-faced Master Xuanji and said coldly, "You have done many evil things with your cultivation. It is a great gift that I didn't kill you. This chapter is not finished. Please turn the page. Tell me, are you the one who did the tricks in Xanadu community?" Old Taoist Xuanji looked at Yi Bufan with malicious eyes. "Boy, if you dare to destroy my cultivation, sooner or later I will kill you." "You won't say it, right?" Yi Bufan smiled coldly, raised his hand and took out 7 more silver needles, which instantly penetrated Lao Tao's 7 major acupoints including Naiwan Palace, Bai Hui, and Feng Qi. This is the 7-needle soul fixing passed down by the ancient medical school. This acupuncture method directly controls a person's mental power. After that, you can say whatever you ask without hiding anything. He asked again, "Tell me, is the Xanadu community a trick played by you?" "I did it." The eyes of the old Taoist Xuanji were dull for a while, and he said like a primary school student answering a question, "At first, the Luo family and I took a fancy to that piece of land, so when Guangdongping was almost built, we arranged a Xianin evil gathering formation there. The purpose is to make it impossible for him to build and sell, until the Luo family finally takes over." "Oh my God, that's what happened. No wonder such evil things always happen in the Xanadu community. It turns out that it was this old man who did it. It's so deceptive. They invested more than 1 billion and a community worth billions was turned into what it is now. If this little brother hadn't taken action, I'm afraid it would have been sold to them for 100 million. The Luo family is so shameless. They colluded with the old Taoist to do such a thing." People around him were talking a lot. Ever since Master Xuanji was stepped on by Yi Bufan, he had completely lost his aura in their eyes. Although many people had great respect for the old Taoist Xuanji before, a master who was beaten like a dog, a master who had no ability to resist, a master whose cultivation was crippled, fell directly from their hearts to the altar. Luo Wentao seemed to have been mentally prepared, and without too much panic, he took 2 steps forward and said, "Don't listen to this old man's nonsense. Our Luo family has always done things above board. these things were all done by himself and have nothing to do with us. He also saw that Xuanji Dao had lost his cultivation and was no longer the superior master Xuanji he had been before, so he spoke unscrupulously and completely ignored himself. Yi Bufan looked at him and smiled coldly. Young Master Luo's face changes very quickly. He cleared himself up in just a few words. Luo Wentao said, Mr. Yi, this chapter is not finished, please turn the page. Sir, don't believe this old man's one-sided words. To put it bluntly, our Luo family has been deceived by him and has been defrauded of a lot of money over the years. We are also victims. Fortunately, today you exposed the true face of Lao Dao. We, the Luo family, would like to express our gratitude to you. Of course Yi Bufan would not believe his nonsense, but these things had nothing to do with him. As long as the Luo family stopped provoking him, he would not bother to care about their dirty things. He raised his hand to take back the silver needle on Lao Dao's body, and then kicked it out. Get out. By destroying the cultivation of the old Taoist Xuanji, I have avenged Guan Dongping. After that, I can just let the old Taoist fend for himself. Old Taoist Xuanji got up from the ground, his eyes filled with deathly silence, and he walked out of the original stone venue in a daze. Yi Bufan said to Luo Wentao, I don't want to get involved with you and Lao Dao, but the 100 million bet owed to me should be cashed in now, right? Me. Luo Wentao's face instantly became extremely ugly. He made a bet with Yi Bufan, thinking that he was a sure winner. Even if he lost, he could get everything back as long as he waited until Master Xuanji appeared, but now everything has changed. Even Master Xuanji has become a complete useless person, causing him to lose his greatest support. What's wrong, Mr. Luo, don't you want to default on your debt? Although Yi Bufan said it very plainly, Luo Wentao couldn't help but tremble in his heart after hearing it. Faced with someone who had even destroyed Master Xuanji, he didn't have the courage even if he wanted to refuse. If you lose, you lose. I, Mr. Luo, will not default on your debt. Luo Wentao said sarcastically, it's just that I really don't have that much cash in my hand for the time being. Although large groups like them have money, they don't keep so much cash in their hands on weekdays. For example, Li Chaoran spent a lot of time raising 1 billion in funds after his son was kidnapped. Moreover, the Luo family is far inferior to Li Chaoran. If it weren't for a casino, they might not even have 300 to 400 million yuan in liquidity. Yi Bufan said calmly, you mean you don't have the money to cash in your bet? Luo Wentao said quickly, Mr. Yi, our Luo family has indeed invested all the funds we have in this rough stone exhibition. Do you think this would work? I will give you a 20% discount. If you choose a rough stone worth 100 million from me, you will treat it as my cashing out your bet. At this time, he did not dare to provoke Yi Bufan anymore, so he could only use the original stone to repay his gambling debt. Chapter 82 Finally waiting for you. You are listening at NovelsThe. Okay. Although the contact time was not long, Yi Bufan had already seen Luo Wentao's character. He was a cunning and ferocious wolf. Naturally, he would not be polite to such a person and personally selected the rough stones worth 100 million Chinese coins. Seeing so many rough stones being selected by Yi Bufan, Luo Wentao felt a burst of physical pain. What he didn't know was that after this selection, his entire original venue was almost ransacked. All the rough stones with doubled value have been selected away, and the remaining ones either have no jade, or the value of the jade is far lower than its price. At least there is no possibility of betting on the increase. After buying so many stones at once, Yi Bufan really had no place to store them. So Qin Chu Chu provided an idle warehouse of the Qin group and pulled all the rough stones. There, after finishing all these things, it was already nightfall, and the two of them left the Paradise Club together. Qin Chu Chu didn't say much along the way, as if he hadn't fully woken up from the shock, until he sent Yi Bufan downstairs to the hotel where he was staying. After getting off the car, he said, Xiaofan, when did you become so powerful? Yi Bufan said, which aspect are you referring to? Gambling skills? Stone gambling? Or dealing with that old man? Qin Chu Chu looked at him with burning eyes and said, both. As the eldest lady of the Qin group, she is known as the most beautiful woman in Jiangnan City in the upper class. Over the years, her suitors have been like carps crossing the river, and she has met countless outstanding men, but none of them can compare with Yi Bufan. Actually, I have always been so outstanding, but you didn't notice it. Yi Bufan said with a smile, why, have you discovered me now? Do you want to pursue me? I can give you a chance. Smelly, I don't want to care about you. Qin Chu Chu glanced at him charmingly, and then said, thank you for your help today. Her gratitude comes from the bottom of her heart. Without Yi Bufan by her side, whether it was the fake Lucky Zi bead or the 30 million Biao Wang, it would have caused great losses to the Qin group, and it would also have affected her work in Qin. Status of home. There are also 3 top-quality Fu Lu Shou rough stone materials, which are things that even money cannot buy. Obtaining such good raw materials will definitely greatly enhance the competitiveness of Qin Group in the rough stone market in the future. Yi Bu, this chapter is not finished, please turn the page. Fan smiled and said, how do you want to thank me? Is this your promise? A blush appeared on Qin Chu Chu's face, and she suddenly kissed Yi Bufan on the face, then got into the sports car and left here as if running away. Perhaps because he was too excited, the red Maserati sports car actually drew an S-shaped arc onto the street. Fortunately, it was already late at night and there were not many cars on the road, otherwise there would have been a traffic accident. Yi Bufan touched the cheek that had been kissed, smiled slightly, and returned to the hotel. Qin Chu Chu's cheeks were still feeling hot after she left. In so many years, she had only been pursued by others, and this was the first time she took the initiative to kiss a man. This man is so good, he just couldn't help himself. Since you took this girl's first kiss, you can never escape from my grasp. Qin Chu Chu muttered something to herself, then waved her little fist to express her determination, and then hummed softly, I've finally waited until you. At the same time, on a remote road not far from the Paradise Club, Xuanji Lao Dao was sitting under a big tree, working hard to circulate the qi in his body according to his previous practice route. But his dantian had been destroyed by Yi Bufan's injection, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't bring up any energy. Old Taoist Xuanji tried Taoism again, and the situation was exactly the same. His lifelong cultivation was completely ruined. Yi Bufan, just wait. When I return to the master's door, I will definitely let the master avenge me. Old Taoist Xuanji gnashed his teeth in hatred. A few hours ago he was an all-powerful master, but now he has become a useless person who can't even walk. At this moment, 3 men in black suddenly appeared in front of him, and the leader was Luo Wentao. Seeing his expression, old Taoist Xuanji became happy and shouted quickly, Wen Tao, I knew it was you. I knew your Luo family would not give up on me. Take me back quickly. Take you back. Luo Wentao smiled disdainfully, and there was no trace of respect or flattery on his face. You are a waste now. What's the point of me taking you back? Is it a waste of food? Old Taoist Xuanji's face changed drastically. Luo Wentao, what do you mean? Luo Wentao laughed evilly, it's not interesting, you are a useless person now, there is no need to live at all. Anyway, we have worked together for a long time. Looking at the past, this chapter is not finished. Please turn the page. Out of love, I will send you on your way now. Old Taoist Xuanji took 2 steps back and said with a horrified look on his face, what are you going to do? I have a master behind me. If you dare to touch me, my master will definitely not spare you. You are overthinking. Luo Wentao said, do you think your master will suspect me if I kill you? They will go to Yi Bufan to settle the score. After he finished speaking, he waved his hand, and the bodyguard captain and another henchman rushed forward immediately. The henchman covered Lao Dao Xuanji's mouth. The bodyguard captain raised his knife and pierced Lao Dao's heart with one blow. The poor old man was killed with a knife before he could even utter a scream. After doing all this, the bodyguard captain wiped the blood off the dagger and said, young master, even if he retains the old master, he will definitely not let Yi Bufan go. Why should we do this? Luo Wentao said with a gloomy expression, just now in the venue, the old Taoist was destroyed by Yi Bufan, and we did not help. Now the old Taoist is a useless person and won't say anything, but once his master comes and has someone to rely on, he will definitely cause trouble for our Luo family. Now I kill Lao Tao, which not only saves trouble but also puts the blame on the boy named Yi. I believe that the people of Lao Tao's disciples will fight to the death with him. After hearing this, the bodyguard captain gave a thumbs up. Young master, this move of yours is really great. It really kills two birds with one stone. Yi Bufan didn't know this. After returning to the hotel, he thought about it and a small red stone appeared in his palm. It was the red stone thrown away by Luo Wentao. He was playing with the stone in his hand, his eyes burning. This was no ordinary stone, and it was even worth far more than the 3 jadeite pieces of good fortune, wealth and longevity. This thing is called the Earth Flame Heart, and it is a fire attribute crystal with extremely pure attributes. Although it looks ordinary now and does not show any fire attributes, that is because it has been in a sleeping state. Once activated using a special technique, the hotel can be reduced to ashes in an instant. According to Yi Bufan's previous plan, he planned to resolve all the yin energy in the Xanadu community, but with Di Yanqin, he had a better choice. He can use Earth Flame Heart to fight against the yin qi in the community, and then set up a yin-yang 5 elements formation. Not only will it no longer have any negative impact on the community, but it can also turn it into a real paradise. Chapter 83 Spiritual Energy Pill. You are listening at NovelsThe. Then he took out the demon refining bottle and poured out a crystal clear elixir. This was the aura pill condensed by the 2 raw stones absorbed by the demon refining bottle. This kind of elixir is completely transformed by spiritual energy. It can strengthen the body, unblock meridians and remove evil spirits. It is of great help to monks in the Qi refining period. It's a pity that he has reached the foundation building stage now, and the spiritual energy pill has no effect. Otherwise, he would not hesitate to refine all the raw stones he bought into spiritual energy pills. After checking the trophies, he went to bed and continued drawing talismans early the next morning. In the beginning, Yi Bufan's purpose of making the talisman was to subdue the bloody skeleton, the king of evil things, and he didn't care about other small evil things. But now that he has the demon refining bottle, he can completely catch them all. After a busy day, he couldn't even remember how many talismans he had made. As evening approached, Yi Bufan came to the Xanadu community alone. While walking along the periphery of the community, he threw the talismans in his hand one by one. These talismans appeared in the air, burned quickly, and then disappeared. After walking around for a while, he almost threw away all the talismans in his hand, and set up a simple formation around the entire Xanadu community. Using talismans to set up the formation was a helpless move. After all, he did not have the materials to refine the formation flag. Although the power of the formation arranged by Fu Lu is far less than the real formation arranged with the formation flag, it can still block those evil objects for a moment, which is enough for him. Just after he finished all this, the phone in his pocket rang. It was He Shuang calling. Xiaofan, today is already the 3rd day. How are your preparations going? Yi Bufan said, don't worry, everything is ready. I have arrived at the Xanadu community now, and I will start to clear out those evil things when night falls. He Shuang said, are you going now? Why don't you call me? Just wait, I will be there right away. After saying that, she hung up the phone without any explanation and appeared in front of the Xanadu community in a sports car. 10 minutes later, He Shuang strode to Yi Bufan. What's wrong with you? You didn't even tell me when you came. Why should I tell you? Aren't you afraid of the things here? I'm afraid, aren't you here? But He Shuang glanced into the community with lingering fear, then reached out and hugged his arm. Yi Bufan shook his head helplessly. Since this chapter is not finished, please turn the page. If you are so scared, why come again? I'm here to see how you clean up those evil things. Besides, I'm not worried if you're the only one here. He Shuang seemed to realize that he had let something slip, and a blush suddenly appeared on his cheeks. In order to cover up her embarrassment, she added, I'm telling you, don't think too much. I don't care about you. I'm just waiting for you to treat me. I'm treating you. What's wrong with you? As he spoke, Yi Bufan glanced at He Shuang's body with his consciousness, and his expression changed slightly. After only 2 days of absence, the girl's chest condition had rapidly worsened, and the previous benign tumor had evolved into breast cancer. After thinking for a moment, he immediately understood the crux of the matter. The last time He Shuang rashly broke into the Xanadu community, he was corroded by yin qi for so long. Although he was rescued later, he also left some sequelae. causing the chest tumor to rapidly deteriorate. He Shuang said with a sad expression, "I just had a checkup at the hospital this morning. The doctor informed me that I have reached an advanced stage and must have surgery immediately, otherwise my life will be in danger." Yi Bufan said, "Then who can blame you? Originally you were going to take the prescription I gave you, but now you have completely recovered. Who told you to throw my prescription into the trash can? Can you blame me? Who told you to take advantage of others at that time? You had to be an uncle, otherwise they would never throw away the prescription." Yi Bufan deeply understood what it meant to be unable to reason with women, and he said, "You mean it's my fault? Of course it's your fault, I don't care, you have to find a way to treat me today." As a woman, no matter how strong He Shuang was, she could not accept surgery to remove it. After confirming that she had breast cancer, she immediately thought of Yi Bufan, subconsciously believing that this man would be able to cure her disease. Yi Bufan said, "Don't worry, you'll be fine as long as I'm here. I'll treat you after I deal with the situation in the community." "Really? Is there really no need for surgery?" But He Shuang suddenly became excited when he heard that his disease could be cured. "Of course it's true. This illness is nothing. If there is no need for surgery, how are you going to treat it?" Yi Bufan said jokingly, "Massage, just use massage techniques to eliminate the tumors inside." You stinky bastard, I'll beat you to death." This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. He Shuang's cheeks immediately turned red and he raised his fist. Yi Bufan grabbed her wrist and said with a smile, "If you beat me to death, there will really be no one to treat me. Let me go quickly." At this moment, the two people were so close that they could almost hear their breathing. Thinking of the passionate kiss that night, Yi Shuang suddenly lost his strength and fell into Yi Bufan's arms. "Hey, what are you doing? Are you cheating?" Yi Bufan smiled. Yi Shuang whispered, "What's wrong with touching porcelain? If you can't cure my disease, I will be dependent on you in this life." "What if it's cured?" "It's cured, it's cured." Yi Shuang hesitated for a moment, but didn't know what to say next. Yi Bufan patted her on the back and said, "Okay, let's talk about the treatment later. It's already dark, let's go into the community." "Yeah." Yi Shuang agreed, and then jumped on his back. Yi Bufan said, "What are you going to do?" "I'll go in with you. Only in this way will I not be afraid of those things." Yi Shuang said, wrapping her legs around his waist and holding her arms tightly around his neck. Yi Bufan smiled bitterly, but this was much better than the koala posture. It was not embarrassing and made it easier for him to move. He carried Yi Shuang on his back and walked towards the Xanadu community. Compared to 3 days ago, the yin energy here was more intense. Although the sun had just set, there was no feeling of warmth. On the contrary, it felt freezing cold. As soon as they walked not far away, countless evil things immediately pounced on them, twice as many as before. Although Yi Shuang did not open his eyes, he knew that there were many evil things around him. He hugged Yi Bufan's neck tightly with both arms and pressed his cheek against the back of his neck. Yi Bufan continued to circulate the chaotic energy in his body, using yang energy to block these evil things. He continued to walk towards the center of the community. He had to surrender the bloody skeleton first. That thing was the king of evil things and already had a certain amount of intelligence. If he acted rashly, he would easily scare the snake away. Once it misses a hit and lets it escape from this community, the consequences will be disastrous. They came to the center of the Xanadu community, which was the place with the heaviest yin energy in the entire Xianing gathering evil formation. More and more evil things were coming around, and their strength was getting stronger and stronger. Chapter 84: The Power of the Demon Refining Bottle. You are listening at NovelsThe. Suddenly, the blood-red skeleton suddenly appeared in front of Yi Bufan. It was a circle larger than before, and the blood-red color on its body became more and more intense, as if it was about to drip out blood. It can be seen that the rich yin qi here has repaired the injuries caused by the Dan fire, and at the same time, its strength has become stronger. The bloody skeleton had gained intelligence and immediately recognized Yi Bufan as its enemy. It immediately let out a sharp whistle and commanded the surrounding evil creatures to attack. Yi Bufan flicked his fingers, and 10 flame talismans quickly burned around him, burning all the evil objects that came towards him, and then several more 5 thunder talismans were shot out. The 5 thunder talismans hit the bloody skeleton, and bursts of thunder light immediately appeared. Thunder and lightning originally have a restraining effect on evil objects, and the 5 thunder talisman has always been a powerful weapon to ward off evil spirits, but this bloody skeleton was too powerful. After the 5 thunder talisman was issued, clouds of black energy immediately appeared, blocking the lightning from the body. Soon, the thunder light was swallowed up by the black energy, and the 5 thunder talisman did not cause any damage to it. Yi Bufan was slightly surprised. This guy is indeed getting stronger and stronger. If he is allowed to continue to be nourished by Yin Qi here, he may not be able to deal with it in the future. The old Taoist Xuanji is really brave. I am afraid that with his current level of cultivation, he is no longer able to subdue this evil creature. The bloody skeleton seemed to be angered by the 5 thunder talisman. It roared, opened its mouth and rushed over. At the same time, he spit out a ball of black air from his mouth, like a dexterous snake, sweeping towards Yi Bufan. Although she couldn't see anything, Yi Xuanxuang was still keenly aware of the energy fluctuations around her. She said nervously, "Xiaofan, are you okay?" "It's okay, just hold me tight." After Yi Bufan finished speaking, he slammed his feet on the ground and jumped into the air, and the demon refining bottle appeared in his hand. "Monster, collect it from me." That with a loud shout, a stream of air burst out from the demon refining bottle, instantly sucking all the black air spit out by the bloody skeleton. At the same time, the airflow also caught the bloody skeleton and dragged it towards the demon refining bottle. From the moment the demon refining bottle was sacrificed, the bloody skeleton felt fear. It turned around and wanted to run away, but how could it escape in front of such a great artifact? In just an instant, the huge bloody skeleton was turned into a ball of black gas and sucked into the demon refining bottle. Yi Bufan succeeded with one move and had no intention of stopping. He continued to use the demon refining bottle in his hand to attack other evil objects around him. This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. The evil objects caught in the air current were instantly sucked into the bottle. It's just that there are too many evil things here. Seeing that the bloody skeletons have been subdued, many large and small evil things are fleeing frantically outside the community. Just when they were about to rush out, the talisman that Yi Bufan had arranged in advance suddenly lit up, forming a huge light network to trap these evil objects. Although this net was very fragile and was shattered by the impact in just a few seconds, it was enough. The demon refining bottle became more and more powerful, absorbing all the evil objects and yin energy here in an instant. Yi Xuanxuang lay on his back and opened his mouth in surprise when he saw the talisman suddenly burning around him. This method was indeed magical. Immediately afterwards, it felt as if the surrounding air suddenly became warmer, and the inexplicable pressure before disappeared. Yi Bufan took back the demon refining bottle and couldn't help but secretly sigh that this artifact was really useful. If he didn't have this thing and wanted to conquer these evil things, he would obviously have to work hard. Yi Xuanxuang asked, "What is this little bottle?" Yi Bufan said, "This is a magic weapon I got by chance. I just relied on it to subdue all the evil things." Yi Xuanxuang asked, "Is everything okay now? You can come down now. There's nothing unclean here anymore." "Oh," Yi Xuanxuang reluctantly got off his back and asked, "There won't be that kind of dirty things here in the future?" "The dirty things are gone, but the formation here must be solved, otherwise the yin energy will condense and breed evil things in the future." As he spoke, Yi Bufan took a few steps forward and came to the very center of the Xanadu community, where the center of the Xianing gathering evil formation was located. He raised his foot and stepped lightly on the ground. With a popping sound, a black bead sprang out from the ground and floated about 1 meter in the air. After the black bead came out, the temperature of the air immediately dropped, and even the surrounding flowers, plants and trees were covered with a layer of frost. So cold. Yi Xuanxuang immediately ran to Yi Bufan's side, the only place where it could feel warmer. She took Yi Bufan's arm and asked, "What is this?" "This is the Xianing Pearl, a magic weapon belonging to Jin Jihan. Using it as an array I can double the power of the Xianing gathering formation. I really don't know where Master Xuanji found this kind of treasure." Yi Bufan said, condensing the true energy in his palms, and put Xian. This chapter is not finished, please turn the page, the Yin pearl is in his hand. If he hadn't reached the foundation building stage, he might have been frozen into an ice sculpture by now. Once the formation eye was broken, the entire Xianin evil gathering formation instantly collapsed, then he came to a big tree next to him, raised his hand and grabbed it in the air, and a small black flag appeared in his palm. Nice one. Yi Bufan was secretly happy in his heart. He was worried about not being able to find the materials to refine the formation flag, but Master Xuanji had already prepared them for him. Then he walked around the entire Xanadu community and had dozens of formation flags in his hand, with the Xianin pearl and earth flame heart as the formation eyes, and now with the formation flags to arrange the formation, it became extremely simple for him to operate, and he quickly completed the layout of a yin-yang 5 elements formation. The coverage area of this formation is huge, covering the entire Xanadu community. Yi Shuangshuang was a little dazzled and asked, "What are you doing? Aren't you trying to break the formation? Why did you bury that bead again?" Yi Bufan said, "The original formation has been broken, and now I have rearranged it. This will be my property from now on, and I want to make it a real paradise." "What do you mean? Why does this place belong to you?" Yi Bufan briefly introduced the situation of the auction, and then said, "This will be my real estate from now on. It will become the most luxurious community in China and even the world. If you want to buy it, you should do it early." Yi Shuangshuang was surprised at first, and then said, "You, even if you have money, can't spend it randomly. Why did you buy this property? Now this community is notorious. Everyone in Jiangnan City knows that there is dirt here. I'm afraid you won't be able to sell a single house. That was before, but it's different now. From today on, this will be the Feng Shui treasure land in Jiangnan City. After the community is completed, people who want to buy a house will have to queue up. Don't be so fanciful. How is this possible? Now I'll let you see if it's weird or not." As he spoke, Yi Bufan raised his hand and made a spell, activating the yin-yang 5 elements formation. At this moment, Yi Shuangshuang was surprised to find that the sky on her left was clear and full of stars, but on her right it was covered with clouds and drizzle. How is this possible? That she opened her mouth wide in surprise. She couldn't believe what she saw. If it weren't for the fact that there was nothing above her head, she would have thought there was a leak somewhere. Chapter 85, Wonderland on Earth. You are listening at NovelsThe. Yi Bufan smiled slightly and cast another spell. The light rain on the right side stopped instantly and was replaced by a warm spring breeze, while on the left side it started to snow heavily. Here. Yi Shuangshuang was extremely shocked. She reached out and touched the heavy snow on the left side, then felt the spring breeze on the right side, and asked in surprise, "How is this possible? Are you God?" Yi Bufan smiled and said, "In this community, I am God, and I can get wind and rain wherever I want. It can be as warm as spring here in winter, and it is a summer resort in summer. I don't have access to air conditioning or heating. Moreover, in my formation, the air is absolutely fresh and the spiritual energy is abundant. If you live here for a long time, you will be free from all diseases and live a long life." Yi Shuangshuang said with shock on his face, "Isn't that a fairyland on earth?" That if she hadn't seen what just happened with her own eyes, she wouldn't believe it no matter what others said. "I have already said that from now on this place will be a paradise on earth. Do you think it can be sold?" Yi Shuangshuang said excitedly, "I don't care whether others buy it or not. Reserve 1 apartment for me first. No, reserve 3 apartments for me. I will ask Grandpa and the others to move here too." Yi Bufan smiled and said, "Don't you want to ask about the price?" "I don't care. Anyway, I want 3 sets. I'll buy them no matter how much they cost." "Well, it will take some time before the community is completed. This secret cannot be leaked for the time being." Yi Bufan raised his hand to stop the formation, and then said, "It's time to treat you now." Thinking of the treatment method he just mentioned, Yi Shuangshuang's cheeks turned red instantly. "Is it right here?" "Isn't it inappropriate?" Yi Bufan said. "Why isn't it suitable?" The environment here is nice and quiet, and no one will disturb me. It couldn't be more suitable. This. He Shuang hesitated for a moment, then finally gritted his teeth and said, "Okay, come on." After saying that, she closed her eyes, straightened her chest, and showed an expression of complete abandonment. Yi Bufan asked in surprise, "What are you doing?" That He Shuang whispered, "Didn't you say you wanted massage therapy?" "Oh. No need, that's just for fun. You only need to take a pill to get rid of your disease." I will fight with you." That He Shuang was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He had made such a strong determination and was already prepared to make sacrifices, but he didn't expect that others were playing tricks on him. "Who asked you to throw away the prescription I wrote?" Yi Bufan stretched out his hand, and the spiritual energy pill appeared in his palm. "Actually, your illness is nothing, as long as you take this pill. This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. It will be cured immediately." He Shuang looked at the palm of his hand. Under the moonlight, the spiritual energy pill was crystal clear, like a shining pearl. She reached out and took the elixir in her hand, and asked doubtfully, "Are you sure this is the elixir, and you're not trying to trick me again?" "It's true this time." Yi Bufan said, "This is called spiritual qi pill. It is an extremely rare elixir. It is overkill to treat your minor ailment." He Shuang curled his lips and said, "Stop bragging. If it's so magical, wouldn't you make a fortune by selling it?" "Sell it?" Yi Bufan said, "Do you know how much this medicine costs?" "It costs 50 million, not counting my medical skills and refining expenses." What he said was indeed true. The combined price of the 2 jadeite stones absorbed by the demon refining bottle was at least 50 million. If you look at the value of the spiritual energy pill itself, it is at least hundreds of millions of yuan, and it has a price but no market. "Huh? So expensive?" That He Shuang was shocked. Although she was the eldest lady of the He family, she never expected that such a small pill would be worth more than 50 million. "Okay, let's start treating the disease now." Yi Bufan said, "This elixir is too powerful, and it would be a waste to treat you alone. Now I will teach you a set of skills. After you master the skills and then take the elixir, it will not only cure your illness, but also allow you to enter the level of a yellow-level warrior." He Shuang shouted excitedly, "Really? Do you think I can really become a warrior?" That she has always longed to become a real martial artist, but unfortunately she did not have the appropriate skills. She only practiced taekwondo, sanda and other external skills, which were not good at all. At this moment, I was overjoyed when I heard that I could become a yellow-level warrior. "Just do as I say and you'll be fine soon." Yi Bufan asked He Shuang to sit cross-legged on the ground, stretched out his right hand to touch her Mingmen point, and slowly injected a trace of chaos qi. "Use your mind to follow my true energy. The set of exercises I teach you is called White Jade *** Gong. From now on, you can follow this exercise route to move your true energy." "But I'm not really angry yet," Yi Bufan said. "Don't worry, it will be available soon." After he finished speaking, He Shuang immediately felt a warm feeling in her dantian, which made her feel particularly comfortable. Soon, the warmth turned into a thin line and flowed out of the dantian, slowly swimming in the body. Following Yi Bufan's instructions, He Shuang used his mind to follow the movement of the thin thread while remembering the route of the exercise. After running for 3 consecutive days, Yi Bufan will, "This chapter is not finished, please turn the page." The qi pill was put into her mouth. This elixir was completely transformed by pure spiritual energy. After entering the mouth, it immediately turned into a stream of heat and flowed into He Shuang's dantian. Then she felt the warmth in her dantian getting stronger and stronger, and this time it didn't belong to Yi Bufan, but completely to herself. He Shuang circulated the true energy in her dantian according to the white jade skill she had just learned. After a week, she felt that her body had been filled with an inexplicable power, and the true energy in her dantian was getting stronger and stronger. At this moment, there was a crisp sound in her mind. She actually broke through the threshold of the early Huang level and entered the middle stage of the yellow level. Yi Bufan was slightly surprised. It was the first time he used the spiritual energy pill. He didn't expect the effect to be so good, he said. Don't be distracted and continue to run the technique, otherwise the efficacy of the medicine will be wasted. He Shuang hurriedly gathered his mind and continued to operate the white jade skill. He ran 3 great Zhoutian cultivation levels in succession before he was completely consolidated. When she finished her training, her eyes flashed with a cold light in the night, and she had become a true middle-level yellow-level warrior. He Shuang jumped up from the ground and punched a rockery nearby. There was just a roar, and the rock was shattered into pieces by her punch, and the foam flew everywhere. Great, I finally became a true warrior. He Shuang couldn't suppress his excitement, so he rushed forward and hugged Yi Bufan, kissing him fiercely on the face. Yi Bufan shouted, "Isn't he just a Huang-level warrior? To make you so excited, I really doubt that you are deliberately trying to take advantage of me." "Bah, who cares about you?" He Shuang said this, but reached out to hug his neck and kissed him hard. After they separated, she took Yi Bufan's hand and said, "You are standing and talking without pain in your back. I don't know how difficult it is for an ordinary person to become a warrior. I have visited many famous teachers over the years, but it's a pity that they are not willing to spread the word. Own skills, well now, I have finally become a true warrior." Yi Bufan said, "Shouldn't you be most concerned about your condition now?" Only then did he Shuang remember that he was treating a disease. She felt it carefully, and the dull pain in her chest had disappeared. She turned around again, reached out and touched it, and found that the lump inside had completely disappeared. "Okay, my illness is really cured." After she finished speaking, she jumped up and hung on Yi Bufan's body like a koala again, and then kissed him fiercely. Chapter 86, Unable to Complain. You are listening at NovelsThe. The two kissed for a while before they separated. Yi Bufan smiled and said, "Do you want to take advantage of me or do you not want to pay the medical fee?" He Shuang put his hands around his neck and said, "If you want money, you want someone. If you like it, take it. If you dare to rely on me, I will take you back to be Mrs. Yezhai." Yi Bufan said as he put Yi Shuang on his shoulders and walked out of the community. The two got in the car and returned to the city. It was already midnight, but Yi Shuang had no intention of going back and said, "I'm hungry, please treat me to dinner." "Okay, I'll treat you to a meal. As a doctor, I'll pay a lot of money for my job. I see the doctor for free, give away medicines for free, and I have to pay for the meal myself." Yi Shuang chuckled and said, "What, you regret it? Who asked you to snatch me as Mrs. Yezhai? It's too late to regret it now." Yi Bufan said, "Tell me what you want to eat. I'm so happy to eat seafood. I'm so happy today. I want to celebrate it." Yi Shuang took Yi Bufan directly to a seafood food stall, chose a table by the roadside and sat down. Yi Bufan said, "What? It's rare for me to treat you once, so you just eat at the food stalls. What happened to the food stall? I often come here to eat seafood. The seafood here is very fresh and tastes good." Yi Bufan said, "I just think that ladies like you, shouldn't you frequent seafood restaurants and the like? When did you start eating at roadside stalls like us? I never think of myself as a young lady." Yi Shuang said, "Actually, the real delicacies are found in these roadside stalls. The food in those big restaurants only looks beautiful, but doesn't taste good at all." Soon the waiter brought them all the seafood and beer they asked for. Yi Shuang poured a full glass for Yi Bufan and himself, then raised his glass and said, "Xiaofan, thank you very much, cheers." As she spoke, she looked at Yi Bufan with burning eyes. It was the man in front of her who cured her illness and at the same time made herself a true Huang-level warrior. It was he who gave himself a new life and created a completely different Yi Shuang. Cheers. Yi Bufan clinked glasses with Yi Shuang and drank them all in one gulp. The two of them enjoyed the cool evening breeze, comfortably eating seafood and drinking beer. Suddenly, there was a quarrel nearby. A man in his 20s. This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. The young man's face was full of anger, and he strode forward, followed closely behind him by a young woman in her 20s. The woman was pretty. Her belly was slightly bulging, and she looked like she was pregnant. The Woman quickly ran in front of the man, opened her arms to block his way, and shouted angrily, Li Hongjun, stop here. The young man said angrily, Zheng Yuanxiang, we have broken up. Don't pester me again in the future. Break up. I'm pregnant, why do you break up with me? The woman shouted with arrogance. There were a lot of people around the food stall. After hearing the woman's words, other people immediately pointed and talked, and even a few passers-by with a strong sense of justice stood up and accused the young people. The young man looks gentle and wears glasses, but he turns out to be a scumbag. That's right, no matter what, if someone is pregnant with your child, you can't break up with them at this time, right? What we Chinese people value most is our sense of responsibility. Are you still considered a man like this? Since you are so shameless, let's make things clear. Li Hongjun seemed to be extremely angry and shouted loudly in public, she is pregnant, but the child is not mine at all. Shouldn't I break up with her? Zheng Yuanxiang shouted, so what, you are my boyfriend, what does it matter who owns the child? You just need to raise him with me. After she said this, the surrounding eyeballs shattered on the ground with a crash, and they were burnt on the outside and tender on the inside, especially the few people who stood up to fight against the injustice were all dumbfounded, not knowing what to say. Bufan just took a sip of beer, but the woman choked him so much that he almost spit it out. After living for more than 20 years, this was the first time he saw someone talking about cheating in such a confident and refreshing way. She didn't care about cheating, but still asked someone to help her raise her children. What's the point of this? At this time, the people around him also came to their senses and accused the woman one after another. You, a girl, have cuckolded someone and you still won't let them break up. What's the point? Yes, I was so immoral that I asked someone to help raise my child. This is the first time in my life that I have seen such a shameless person. Young man, you absolutely cannot want this kind of woman. You must kick her. Contrary to just now, this time everyone stood by the man without hesitation. This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. Side, unexpectedly, Zheng Yuanxiang not only showed no shame, but shouted confidently, what are you doing? Can you be reasonable? My belly is mine, and I can bear whose child I want. Is there anything wrong with this? After hearing her words, everyone didn't know how to respond for a moment, and the scene fell into silence. Li Hongjun said angrily, I can't control whose child you want to have, but in short, let's make a clean break from today on, and there will be no more relations. Zheng Yuanxiang shouted, why? Since you are my boyfriend, you should be good to me and accept everything from me, including helping me raise my child. Am I not good enough to you? I will give you all my monthly salary. You have the final say in everything. If you are happy, I will be happy. If you are unhappy, I will make you happy. As a result, you turned around and cuckolded me countless times, and also got someone else's child. Zheng Yuanxiang shouted, what is a cuckold? Those are all feudal ideas, okay? What era are we in now, and you still care about these things? I am a woman, is there anything wrong with trying a few more men? You yellow men are not good to begin with. Is there anything wrong if I try black men? Following her series of questions, the people around her were completely dumbfounded. It was not that everyone agreed with her point of view, but that they were unable to complain about her ridiculous ideas. You shameless bitch, get out of here. Li Hongjun could no longer control the anger in his heart, raised his hand and slapped her face with his mouth, and then strode away from here. The slap was so severe that Zheng Yuanxiang was knocked to the ground, but no one around him showed sympathy. This kind of woman really deserves a beating, but the beating is too light. The world is declining and people's hearts are not as old as they used to be. How can a woman be so shameless? Shameless, so shameless. Even if such a person dies, no one will sympathize with him. Zheng Yuanxiang got up from the ground and vented all the anger in his heart on passers-by. What are you doing? I am a woman, I have my own rights, I can sleep with whoever I want, my belly is mine, and I can have whose child I want. If I don't want to be his loss, sooner or later I will be able to find a man who appreciates me and a qualified father for my children. After saying that, she quickly left the place, leaving behind a group of stunned passers-by. Chapter 87 Brainless Feminism. You are listening at NovelsThe. After the woman left, Bufan said, "You women always call us men scumbags. Is this the legendary scumbag?" He Shuang said, "What do you think I'm doing? I'm not that kind of woman." Bufan said, "I used to often hear that there is a kind of woman called a pastoral feminist. Today I saw it with my own eyes. It's really strange." He Shuang said, "Feminism initially advocated equality between men and women, but then some people gradually mutated and their ideas became more and more deviant, and people like this appeared now. It's really terrible. It completely subverts the three views. People say that you can be strong only when you are justified. But this kind of person is so arrogant when it is clearly her own fault. I really don't know who gave her the courage." He Shuang said, "It is a good thing to fight for women's rights, but some people's ideas are really too much. When I was studying abroad, I visited many countries. Whether it was the Western world that talked about human rights all day long, or the Eastern country the status of women was far inferior to that of China. Nowadays, when Chinese women get married, they basically retain their own freedoms and human rights, and retain their own surname. Unlike in the West, after getting married, they have to change their surname to their husband's. This is especially true in country J. No matter how highly educated and capable women are, they can always only be assistants in the workplace. They cannot do important work at all, and it is difficult for them to get promotion opportunities. A domineering female CEO like Hua Xia is a no-brainer for them. When eating at their place, as long as there are people at the same table drinking together, the person pouring the wine will be a woman. On the contrary, our Chinese women have the highest status in the world. Many women control financial power, despise their parents-in-law, refuse to do housework, and live like princesses." Bufan said, "In the past, I often heard some women say that they had enough fun outside and finally found an honest man to take over. I already felt that this was too much. I didn't expect that this woman today directly refreshed my three views." He Shuang said, "It is a good thing to fight for equal rights for women, but if it goes too far, the final result will be harm to others and ourselves." This incident was just a small episode. After the two of them had dinner, Bufan sent He Shuang home. After getting off the car, he said to He Shuang, "Your current cultivation level is not very stable. You must practice hard when you go back." "I understand, thank you." He Shuang said, kissing him on the cheek, and then entered the He family villa. Several bodyguards at the door were frightened when they saw this scene. "This chapter is not finished, please turn the page." He jumped and almost fell to the ground. In the past, they had seen the eldest daughter of their own family punching and kicking young and old men from rich families. This was the first time that they took the initiative to offer a kiss. They thought they were just blinded by what they saw. Bufan also returned to the hotel where he lived to rest. Early the next morning, he rushed to Zui Jiangnan restaurant and wanted to have breakfast with his mother, but when he arrived, Ouyang Lan was not there. I took out my cell phone and was about to make a call when my mother walked in from outside with an excited look on her face. He asked, "Mom, where have you been so early?" Ouyang Lan said excitedly, "Son, Mom just knew that there is a blind date corner in the park in the middle of the street. I went there just now and I have made appointments with 3 girls for you. You will meet them this morning." Bufan suddenly had a black line on his head. "Mom, what are you doing? I haven't graduated from college yet, so there's no need to rush on a blind date, right? Why are you not in a hurry? Who told you not to find a girlfriend by yourself? Mom has to take action herself. Let me tell you, I have seen the photos of these 3 girls. They are very beautiful. Mom is very satisfied." Bufan said with a grimace, "Mom, can you not go?" "No." Ouyang Lan immediately made a serious face. "I have already made an appointment with a girl. You must go on a blind date with me after dinner." Bufan really had no choice but to say, "Mom, actually I already have a girlfriend. Do you think your mother is easy to deceive? If you get it, bring it to me." If you can't get it, you have to go on a blind date with me. Wait a moment, I'll call her right now. Yi Bufan had no choice but to call Qin Chu Chu and ask her to come to Jianghu to help. He didn't want to be forced to go on a blind date, but I called 3 times, but no one answered. This girl, why don't you answer the phone? In desperation, he could only call He Shuang Shuang. It would be good to have her come over for help, but there was a busy tone from the microphone, indicating that the other party had turned off the phone. Yi Bufan then remembered that He Shuang Shuang must be practicing the White Jade Sutra in seclusion and would not be able to turn on his phone for a while. Ouyanglan said, "You can't find anyone, can you? Then go on a blind date with me honestly." Yi Bufan said, "Mom, how about you give me one more day and I will bring her over to see you tomorrow? Don't do this with me. I don't know the tricks of you young people. I'll give you 1 day to go to the market and pull one for me." This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. Come. Ouyanglan looked like he had seen through you a long time ago. Stop talking nonsense, hurry up and eat. After dinner, you will go on a blind date with me. I have already made an appointment with them. The first one is at 9 in the morning. Yi Bufan suddenly turned into a bitter face. He would not have come over for breakfast if he had known it earlier, but his mother's words were an imperial edict and he was not allowed to resist at all. Ouyanglan didn't cook in person today, so she took him to have a quick bite in the restaurant, and then the mother and son embarked on a blind date together. The blind date took place at the Peninsula Cafe. Ouyanglan sent him to the reserved room and then guarded the door. Seeing his mother guarding the door like a soldier, Yi Bufan could only smile bitterly and sit there waiting for the woman to arrive. He waited for a full hour, and just when he lost patience and was about to leave, a woman suddenly opened the door and walked in. After seeing that woman, Yi Bufan suddenly felt like he was going to collapse. He never expected that the person his mother would choose for a blind date would be the top-notch woman he met last night. Jing Yuanxiang sat directly opposite him after entering the door, with an indifferent expression on her face, a hint of arrogance, and no guilt at all for being late. Now that he's here, Yi Bufan can only finish the procedure and say, "You're late." Jing Yuanxiang said nonchalantly, "I know, I did it on purpose. As a woman, you should have the right to be late." Yi Bufan said, "Can women be late at will? Who gives women the right?" Jing Yuanxiang said, "This is what we should have originally. We don't need others to give it to us." Yi Bufan was speechless. He really wanted to crack this woman's head open and see what was inside. At this time, the waiter came over and said to the 2 people, "You two, what would you like to drink?" Jing Yuanxiang said, "Bring me a cup of the best Blue Mountain coffee. Bring me a latte." Yi Bufan had never been a fan of coffee, but he was content with it, so he casually ordered a cup. After the waiter left, he said, "You are pregnant, isn't it appropriate to drink coffee again?" Jing Yuanxiang was slightly startled. "How did you know? This is a news story that Hebei saw by chance. I thought it was suitable for the current situation and wrote it in." Black beer firmly supports equality between men and women, but extreme feminist ideas like this are definitely harmful to others and ourselves. Chapter 88. Let's see your brain. You are listening at NovelsThe. When I broke up with your boyfriend last night, I happened to be eating there. Yi Bufan said sarcastically, "I didn't expect you to be quite efficient. We just broke up last night and went out on a blind date today. Of course, a man with a narrow mind like that is not worth my time at all. I want to show him that I will find a better man without him." Jing Yuanxiang didn't seem to feel Yi Bufan's sarcasm at all, and said plausibly, "Since you know everything, I won't bother explaining it to you and will tell you my conditions now. As long as the 2 of us are together, no matter how much property or real estate you have, it must be in my name. No matter what happens at home, my decision will ultimately prevail." Yi Bufan had a look of ridicule on his face. He wanted to see how mentally retarded this woman was and asked, "Is there any more? Also, I am a woman. You should be responsible for all the household chores such as cooking, washing clothes, and buying vegetables. Don't mention that I am pregnant now. Even if I am not pregnant, I can't do these tasks. Then I don't understand. I've done all these things. What do you usually do?" "It depends on my mood. I am a woman and I can do whatever I want. If I don't want to do it, I just drink tea, listen to music, dance, and hang out with friends. In short, I can do whatever I want without your permission or permission. Yi Bufan sneered, why? Just because I'm a woman, it's always right for a woman to be nice to herself. Jing Yuanxiang said confidently, don't be unbalanced. This was the case when I was with my previous boyfriend. Yi Bufan shook his head and said, it's a pity that there may be only one man in this world who would treat you like this and be let down by you. What do you mean by this? Am I wrong? Can't you men be more open-minded? As Chinese men, don't you know it yourself? You just can't compare with black people in that respect. I'm going to give it a try and enjoy being a woman. Is there anything wrong with that? Although the pregnancy was an accident, my belly is mine, and I can give birth to whomever I want without anyone's consent. Yi Bufan felt that if he continued to talk, he would not be able to suppress the anger in his heart, and said, how you live is your right, and who you give birth to is your right, but it is my right not to accept a woman like you. This chapter is not finished, please turn the page, that I think there is no need to continue talking between us. Goodbye. What do you mean? Jing Yuanxiang's face instantly darkened, and he said angrily, you are not as narrow-minded as that man, are you? Can't you be more tolerant of women? Yi Bufan shook his head and said, I think you should take a look at your brain. You actually said I'm sick. Can I still have some quality? Not only are you sick in your brain, but you are also sick in your body. Yi Bufan said, Chinese people and black people each have their own advantages. I will not comment on who is better and who is worse, but one thing is for sure, the HIV infection rate among black people is the highest in the world. Congratulations, you won the lottery. Now that you and the child in your belly have been infected with HIV, go to the hospital for treatment as soon as possible, and get your brain treated as well. Jing Yuanxiang said angrily, how dare you curse me? I'm not cursing you. I'm a doctor. I'm just giving you a humane reminder. Forget it if you want to die. Don't harm the child in your belly. I advise you to abort it as soon as possible. You're talking nonsense. I just went to the hospital for a checkup yesterday. The doctor would have warned me if I was sick. Yi Bufan said, I don't know about this. Maybe the notification is on the way. You. What did Jing Yuanxiang just say? Suddenly the cell phone in the bag rang. She glanced at the phone number, her expression changed slightly, and then pressed the answer button. Ms. Jing Yuanxiang, right? This is Jiangnan Central Hospital. Through our hospital's examination of you, it has been initially confirmed that you and the fetus in your belly have been infected with HIV. Please come to us for treatment immediately. Before the other party could finish speaking, Jing Yuanxiang's face turned pale, and the phone in his hand fell to the ground with a bang, shattering into pieces. I'll give you a word, if you don't seek death, you won't die. After speaking, Yi Bufan strode out of the room. As the old Chinese saying goes, poor people must be hateful, and he would not have any sympathy for such a woman. After he went out, Ouyang Lan immediately came up to him and asked excitedly, Son, how was the conversation with that girl? I saw it just now, and the girl is quite pretty. Yi Bufan briefly introduced what happened. After hearing this, Ouyang Lan's expression changed drastically. How could there be such a person who came out on a blind date when she was pregnant? This chapter is not finished, please turn the page, and there is that kind of dirty disease, isn't this a trap? Mom, I just said that blind dates are unreliable. How about we go back? Yi Bufan said that he was about to walk back, but Ouyang Lan held him back. Son, don't leave in a hurry, after all, there are only a few people like this, the next girl will definitely not be like this, take another look. Yi Bufan really had no choice but to follow Ouyang Lan to the next stop, which was a tea house. Not long after entering, a tall girl walked in. Before she could enter, a strong smell of cosmetics wafted over. After meeting this girl, he finally understood what wearing heavy makeup meant. The girl was very direct. She sat down and said directly, I am very pressed for time and have a blind date soon, let me talk about my requirements first. If you can meet them, let's continue talking. If not, there is no need to waste each other's time. Yi Bufan said, then tell me. I have a bad temper and am a bit willful. I like shopping, karaoke, and playing mahjong, but I don't like doing housework. My daily consumption is relatively high, and the cosmetics I use are all Chanel brands. I have skin allergies from other brands. Can you accept them? Yi Bufan said jokingly, these don't matter, let's just say whether you can bear the beating or not. Humph. Rude, there's no need to waste time with people like you. After the woman finished speaking, she grabbed her small bag, twisted her butt and walked out of the door. Yi Bufan shook his head. Who were the people he met on this blind date? After going out, Ouyang Lan saw that his face was not good looking, so he stepped forward and said, son, what's wrong? Isn't this okay? Yi Bufan briefly told the story, and then said, Mom, let's go back, blind dates are really unreliable. Son, there's also the last one. Since we've made an appointment with him, we have to take a look anyway. Mom, I really can't watch this anymore. I promise to bring you a girlfriend. Ouyang Lan said, son, Mom promises you that this is the last one. If it doesn't work, I won't arrange blind dates for you anymore, but you have to watch this no matter what. Mom, we have agreed that we can no longer force me to go on blind dates in the future. Yi Bufan had no choice but to agree and follow Ouyang Lan to the third blind date location. Chapter 89 Meeting an Old Classmate on a Blind Date. You are listening at NovelsThe. The third blind date was set at the Jiangnan Hotel. It was one of the only 5-star hotels in Jiangnan and looked extremely luxurious. Son, have a good talk with the girl later. If it's suitable, don't let her go. Besides, our family's conditions are better now. We must be more generous when spending money, and don't let the girl laugh. Ouyang Lan warned Yi Bufan again and again before letting Yi Bufan in. She was waiting at the door of the hotel. Entering the booked room, Yi Bufan was slightly surprised. It turned out to be a large private room for more than a dozen people. He even suspected that he had found the wrong place, so he went out and looked at the house number again, checked it with the number Ouyang Lan gave him, and confirmed that it was this room. Generally speaking, 2 people should choose tea houses, coffee shops, etc. for a blind date. Not many people come to such 5-star hotels, and even fewer choose such large private rooms. Maybe it was because other rooms could no longer be booked. Yi Bufan didn't pay much attention and pulled up a chair and sat down. After waiting for almost half an hour, the girl who hadn't seen him came to his door. At this time, his cell phone rang. It was Qin Chu. Xiaofan, why are you calling me? I just came out after taking a shower. Yi Bufan said helplessly, you must have taken a little too long to take a bath. I have already kissed you twice. Girls just like to take a longer bath so that their skin can be better. Qin Chu came back to her senses only after saying this, and shouted in surprise, you went on a blind date? We are in the process of dating, and we have already met 2, and now we are waiting for the third one. Qin Chu said angrily, you really went on a blind date? Are you afraid that you can't find a wife? Can you blame me? I called you for help but no one answered, so my old Buddha forced me to come here. How do you like it? Do you like anyone? Not yet. The first 2 are weird. The third one hasn't come yet. I don't know what the situation is. Send me your address and I'll be there right away. After Qin Chu finished speaking, she hurriedly hung up the phone. The man she liked must not be snatched away by other women. As soon as Yi Bufan sent a location fix, his phone rang again. This time it was Xie Donglin, the director of Jiangnan Hospital of Traditional Chinese Medicine. Dr. Yi, where are you? This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. Yi Bufan said, I'm waiting for a friend at Jiangnan restaurant. Oh, your appointment letter as honorary dean has been prepared. How about I send it to you now? Is it convenient? Yi Bufan didn't take this blind date to heart and said, then I'll trouble you, Dean Xie. I'll send you the location now. After hanging up the phone, he didn't see the other person's shadow. He was bored. He took a photo of the room and then posted a message on Moments. It's so boring to wait for someone. That at this time, the door opened, and a girl in a red dress walked in from the outside. Seeing him, she shouted in surprise, "Yi Bufan, why are you here?" Yi Bufan looked back and saw that the girl who came in was his high school classmate Sun Xiaotong. He frowned slightly and said, "I'm waiting for a friend." Although he was a classmate whom he had not seen for 3 years, he had no good impressions of the woman in front of him. When I was in high school, there were always some people in the class who were uneducated and incompetent. Sun Xiaotong was one of them. Relying on her good looks, she hung out with those unscrupulous people all day long. Once she made a bet with someone that she would catch Yi Bufan within a week, but at that time, Yi Bufan was focused on studying and paid no attention to her. A week later, Sun Xiaotong lost 200 yuan, which made her angry and reported Yi Bufan to the school's academic affairs office for molesting her. This time the matter got serious. It was approaching the college entrance examination. In order to calm down the matter quickly and not affect his son's college entrance examination, Ouyang Lan went to the school in person to apologize to Sun Xiaotong and at the same time paid 2,000 yuan in compensation. This was how the matter was settled. Although the matter had passed for a long time and he no longer cared about it, it was still difficult for him to have a good impression of this woman. Sun Xiaotong said, "Waiting, friend, are you here for a blind date?" Yi Bufan also realized that the person he was waiting for was Sun Xiaotong. This world is really small. He didn't expect that the two people would meet awkwardly under such circumstances. Now that I met him, it was hard to say anything, so I could only nod helplessly. A flash of contempt flashed in Sun Xiaotong's eyes, and she said sarcastically, "Yi Bufan, you were so honest when I was in school. I didn't expect that you would learn to cheat on marriage after not seeing me for 3 years. Fake marriage, when did I cheat on marriage? Pretend, are you still pretending to me? We have been classmates for 3 years, how can I still not know you? Your mother told my mother that you have a big restaurant at home, isn't this? This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. Is it a lie? Who doesn't know that your mother sells steamed buns, but she can actually turn her steamed bun shop into a big restaurant? No one can brag like this. What's this if it's not marriage fraud?" Yi Bufan didn't speak. He didn't want to have anything to do with this woman, and he had no interest in explaining. Sun Xiaotong looked him over from head to toe disdainfully. "If you want to pretend, you should also dress up in a complete outfit. You have to spend some money to dress yourself up. With such a set of shabby clothes, you don't look like you own a big restaurant. Well, for the sake of being an old classmate, I don't care about your cheating marriage, I just have some relatives coming to my house today. Please treat them to a meal. If you can make my family happy, maybe I can give you a chance to pursue me." After saying that, she didn't care whether Yi Bufan agreed or not, she just took out her cell phone and made a call. "Mom, tell uncle and the others to come over." After hanging up the phone, a dozen people soon walked in from outside, including men and women, old and young. Yi Bufan was quite shocked at the speed of these people. They booked such a large private room for the blind date, and their relatives were waiting outside. It seemed that Sun Xiaotong's blind date was fake, and he wanted to take the opportunity to invite his family to a party. "Okay, don't stand here stupidly, let me introduce you. This is my dad, this is my mom, this is my uncle, this is my eldest cousin." Sun Xiaotong pulled Yi Bufan to introduce him to his family. When those people saw Yi Bufan wearing ordinary clothes, a flash of contempt flashed in their eyes. Sun Xiaotong's father ignored him at all, took the menu on the table and said, "Okay, everyone is hungry, let's start ordering." After saying that, he called the waiter without hesitation and ordered 16 dishes in one go, and each dish was expensive. Putting down the menu, he raised his head and said, "Yi Bufan, right? Do you have a house in Jiangnan City?" "No." "Are there any cars worth more than 300,000 yuan?" "No." Sun Xiaotong's father frowned, obviously not satisfied with the two answers, and asked again, "You should have a 7-digit deposit, right?" "Nor." Yi Bufan shook his head again. "The deposits in his bank cards are all 9 digits, and there are really number 7 digits. There is nothing, so how can you make friends with our little Tong?" Sun Xiaotong's mother said, "What are you doing now? You should have a job with an annual income of hundreds of thousands, right?" Chapter 90 Moutai in 2015. You are listening at NovelsThe. Yi Bufan said, "No, I am studying at Jiangnan Medical University and have not graduated yet. Neither this nor that, how can you be worthy of our Xiaotong?" Sun Xiaotong's father said, "Do you know how outstanding our Xiaotong is now? She is a sales manager in the Qin Group. You have always heard of the Qin Group. It is the largest jewelry group in Jiangnan City. Our Xiaotong's annual salary is more than 200,000 to 300,000 yuan." After he said this, other relatives nodded. Yes, this young man's conditions are a bit poor. Young people must work hard, otherwise they won't be able to catch up with our Xiaotong. They are both young people, why is there such a big gap? Sun Xiaotong's mother said, "Well, you have gone to college after all, and her uncle has many acquaintances in the medical industry. Please show your respect today. As long as you make Uncle Xiaotong happy, you can immediately enter a tertiary hospital for internship. After graduation, working will not be a problem at all." Sun Xiaotong's uncle is a bald, middle-aged man sitting next to him, with his chin raised and a look of arrogance on his face. "Young man, what major do you major in?" Yi Bufan said, "I study Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine is not popular now and it is difficult to find a job." Sun Xiaotong's uncle said, "But fortunately you met me, the attending physician of Jiangnan Hospital of Traditional Chinese Medicine and I are close friends, and even Dean Xie has had drinks together. As long as I can tell you, there will be no problem in getting an internship, and you can work there after graduation." Sun Xiaotong's mother said, "Young man, did you hear this? If you don't toast your uncle quickly, your career will depend on him in the future." Sun Xiaotong's father asked the waiter again, "Do you have a 15-year-old Moutai here?" The waiter said, "Yes sir, but the price of the 15-year-old Moutai is a little more expensive." "It doesn't matter if it's a little more expensive. It's a lifetime event to do a job, so I can still afford the wine money." He waved his hand and said, "Give me 6 bottles first." Yi Bufan looked at the people in front of him coldly, but said nothing. Soon the Moutai wine was delivered, and Sun Xiaotong said to him, "What are you looking at? Hurry up and pour the wine for uncle." Yi Bufan said, "I don't have the habit of pouring wine for others, and I don't need others to find a job for me. You, a young man, just forget about it if you don't have the ability." Why? This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. He doesn't even understand the worldly ways. Sun Xiaotong's father shook his head, as if he was extremely dissatisfied. He picked up a bottle of wine, opened it with a bang, and poured a full glass for everyone present. After this round, the 2 bottles of Moutai were gone. "Come, let's have a drink first." Sun Xiaotong's uncle invited everyone to drink. He drank all the wine in his glass and then said, "Good wine. For the sake of this wine, I will help you. Let's do this, you take 200,000 as a favor operation fee, and the work will be taken care of by me." Sun Xiaotong poked Yi Bufan, "Why are you still standing there stupidly? Thank my uncle quickly." Yi Bufan said, "No need, I don't need help from others for my work." After hearing his words, Sun Xiaotong's father's face darkened. "Young man, how could you do this? This is a rare opportunity. Do you think it is so easy to work in a hospital? If your uncle hadn't been well connected and had connections in the hospital, no one would be able to help you even if he got 400,000 yuan. Sun Xiaotong's mother put on a serious look and said, "Young man, it is difficult for college students to find a job now, and it is even more difficult for college students studying traditional Chinese medicine to find a job. Don't feel bad about the 200,000 yuan. You should have a long-term perspective in life. Auntie tells you that this money is definitely worth it." Yi Bufan shook his head slightly. As a successor, how could he not see that these people were cheating him out of money in the name of finding a job? Don't say that you don't need their help. Even if you do, throwing the money away is just a slap in the face and won't have the slightest effect. Seeing that he didn't speak, Sun Xiaotong's uncle said, "Young man, do you think 200,000 is a bit much? How about this, if you take 100,000 yuan first, and then I'll show off my old face and give you a good talk, maybe we can succeed." Yi Bufan said, no need, I really don't need this job. Sun Xiaodong's uncle said sadly, young man, why are you so unmotivated? You are about to graduate, shouldn't you start looking for a job? Otherwise, how can you be worthy of our Xiaotong in the future? Sun Xiaodong's father said, young man, although it is our first time meeting you, I still want to say a few words to you. I know you may be a little embarrassed because of your low self-esteem, but you can't live for the sake of face. Sometimes you have to let go, otherwise you will be the one who suffers in the end. Sun Xiaodong's mother also said, young man, I heard your mother say that your family has a big restaurant. This chapter is not finished, please turn the page. It should be about 200,000 yuan. Sometimes you have to invest when you have to, so don't be stingy. Sun Xiaotong said, Mom, stop talking, there is no big restaurant in his home, his mother sells steamed buns, there is only one steamed bun shop, I was a high school classmate with him, so I knew the situation in his family very well, he didn't dare to let his uncle do this job because he had no money. When he was in school, his family was a poor student. How could he get 200,000 now? You actually call the bun shop a big restaurant? Isn't that a lie? It's really irritating. I'll have a glass of wine to calm down. Sun Xiaodong's father said as he drank the Moutai in front of him in one gulp. Sun Xiaodong's uncle said, young man, since your family's conditions are not good, you need to find a stable job. Otherwise, what will you do in the future? Seeing that this guy didn't give up, Yi Bufan said, I really don't need this job. Even if I do, I don't need help from others if I want to enter Jiangnan Hospital of Traditional Chinese Medicine. Young people, can you be more pragmatic? If you can't do it, just speak out bravely. Why are you still talking big words? Your mother is just a bun seller. I really don't know who gave you the courage to speak like this. You're so awesome. I really thought anyone could get into Jiangnan Traditional Chinese Medicine Hospital. It's a top-level hospital in the country. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to think about it. It doesn't matter if you are poor, it doesn't matter if you have no ability. The key is to have a motivated heart. Just as everyone was vying to criticize Yi Bufan, the doors suddenly opened and Xie Donglin walked in from the outside. After entering the door, he glanced around, and then quickly fell on Yi Bufan. He stepped forward with a smile on his face and said, Dr. Yi, I have sent you a letter of appointment. As he spoke, he entered the private room, took out a bright red letter of appointment, held it in both hands and sent it to Yi Bufan. From today on, you are the honorary president of our Jiangnan Hospital of Traditional Chinese Medicine. When we meet again, I will call you President Yi. Yi Bufan took the letter of appointment and said, Dean Xie, thank you. Everyone in the room looked puzzled and didn't know what was going on. Sun Xiaotong glanced at the appointment letter, and then said sarcastically, Yi Bufan, I really underestimate you, you have gone to great lengths to deceive me into getting married, you even got yourself the honorary director of Jiangnan Hospital of Traditional Chinese Medicine. It was just a fake certificate anyway. Why don't you just say that you are the director? That would be easier and it would be done in one step.